you're a person that tends to be more centered, level-headed, or just even-keeled on the emotional scale for the most part, or you're the kind of person that's more vivacious or expressive or is just putting themselves out there in a more energetic way, this video is for you. What up, party people in the streets? How are you doing? And I'm so glad you're here. We're talking about how you react or act in general. And I know that those reactions and actions may be different depending on what's going on in your life. And sometimes we're more sensitive than other times, and sometimes we're more calm than other times. But in general, you must know the kind of person you are. The thing that I am pointing out here is maybe you don't really look at yourself and know what kind of person you are. And if you do or you don't, I just want you to take today's information and apply it to yourself in a way that will better you and consider the people in your lives. Welcome to day 27. Okay, so let me put this down so you can pick it up. It's pretty simple for you. Today we're talking about noticing our own personality types while taking in consideration the personality types around you. So we're going to address this just in two different ways. I'm going to kind of categorize everyone in the world into either one or the other category, which obviously is not exact because there can't be just two categories in our world, but it's enough to get the point across. So let me start by saying everybody has the same 24 hours, everybody has the same year, everybody has the same lifetime. Although we all have the same thing, we all experience it different. And that's because of the way we act, the way we react, the way we think, and the way we perceive. So of course it's going to be different. However, I'm going to split it out in two categories of the way people tend to act and how they deal with the same world that we're all living in. When I say we all have the same world, the same hours, the same years, I'm talking about every single person on this planet has their own issues to deal with. Everybody has to deal with drama from time to time, upset, negativity, ego stuff, being attacked. Things happen. Life happens. Shit happens. It's not only exclusive to certain people. However, you might think that it is only exclusive to certain people, and certain people never really even think about it because they're too busy thinking about how exclusive it is to them. Now, they may not be saying, this is only exclusive to me. So this type of person is the person who always is coming and talking, talk, always telling people about what's going on, whether it's good, whether it's bad, what their drama, their problems, whatever's going on, but it's just a lot of rattly energy, okay? And if they have something going on, you're definitely going to know it because they're going to definitely be talking about themselves and what's going on. And sometimes it's just sharing and wondering what to do and freaking out. Or sometimes it's complaining and being in a victim. The blah, blah, blah comes in different flavors. But I'm just talking in general, that one grouping of people that tend to be more outward and vocal about whatever's going on in their life. Okay, and then there are the calmer people. The people that tend to be more quiet, not to say that they can't be noisy sometimes and joking and things like that, but in general, the sense of that person would be, this person's pretty even-keeled, they're pretty calm, they're not really overly blah, 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 like they're not that. I don't know how to put that into words. They're pretty much, when they have issues going on, they would more likely tend to go within and try to figure it out on their own. A lot of times they just withdraw from everything because they can't handle just dealing with things because they're just trying to figure this thing out that they're going through. If they happen to have a couple friends that they can share with, usually That person even wouldn't go to those people unless they really had to. Many times, their best friends wouldn't even know that they were going through something traumatic because they just wouldn't even be talking about it. So they internalize a lot. They're figuring it out within themselves. They're not the type to go around broadcasting every single thing to anybody that will listen. So those are kind of the two groupings I'm talking about. Usually the group that tends to find those people that are more like even-keeled or quiet or mellow, however you want to call it. So one group is the talkers, the flappers, and the other group is usually the listener, because the more quiet person or the more even-keeled person, the kind of person that's just kind of calm, would tend to be a kind of person that would listen more because they're not talking. When you're not talking, it's obvious that you're going to hear more, right? Because when you're talking, you can't talk and hear. You're just talking. Okay? So if you're just kind of more of the more quiet person, and again, I'm not saying that this is a person that's always quiet. Maybe they're not quiet all the time, but for the most part, they're pretty even-keeled and more on the quiet side. They tend to be the listener. So these flappers come and do a lot of talking to the people who listen, right? Because they're talking, they want people to listen. Obviously, two flappers wouldn't have much of any listening going on. You just have a lot of talking. And when two people are talking, there's not any listening going on. So the talkers find the listener, okay? And so the listener usually listens and then usually offers some sort of wisdom or some sort of opinion, or maybe doesn't. Maybe they just are there listening. Meanwhile, the flapper's just letting out all of whatever's going on with them. And it could be good, it could be bad, it could be drama, it could be victim, it could be anything, but it's just a lot of energy going on that person. And that other person is just like, wow, okay. And so sometimes it's entertaining for that quiet person. Sometimes even people who are quiet, they actually do have something to say once in a while. But they would probably tend not to even try to break in to say something, because that other person's just going on so much. They'd just be like, okay, whatever. They would get bored. Like, this is not even someone that cares about what I have to say, so why should I even say it? Or classic, they do get a moment to say something, and before they can even get their whole story out, this one's jumping in to finish it, or say, yeah, well, that happened to me too, and then you know what else happened, blah, blah, blah. So they just swoop in and take the conversation over again. Part of my message today is notice if you're a flapper or you are more of the even-keeled, quiet person. I'm not judging one or the other, but it is important for you to notice where you fall into that category. So I'm going to say two things. First of all, for the person that's the flapper, I would say be a little bit considerate. At least acknowledge that you're a flapper. Like, everybody watching this, I want you to say, am I more of a flapper or am I more of just the even-keeled quiet person? You're one or the other category. And then just start with that, okay? And then if you tend to be more flappy, I would say that's okay, but notice when you may be flapping too much to this person, or at least remember to just stop once in a while and ask that person, so how are you doing? So what's going on with you? Even what do you think of that? And then try your best to put a...
What are those things called?
A clothesline. Try to put a clothesline.
An energetic clothesline on your lips.
And do your best to let that person finish everything they have to say, because most likely they speak slower than you, and it takes them a little bit longer to get out what they have to say, because they just tend to think and relay messages a little slower, because that's how they are. They're not in a rush. They're not just in a hurry to throw out any kind of thing. There's two completely different personality types. Again, I'm not saying one's worse than the other, okay? There's good about both sides, but what I'm asking is for both sides to have consideration for the other side, okay? What I'd like to say to this other person, which I'm calling this even-keeled, you need to ask for what you need, because normally what happens is these people, and maybe even other even-keeled people, but not usually. Usually these people, they're not thinking about maybe you're having a hard day. They're not thinking about maybe you have a problem. They're not thinking that maybe you need time away from hearing that. They're not thinking that maybe you have something important that you'd like to talk about. And so you're not as forthcoming with letting that stuff out. And when something's like that, it's kind of difficult energetically really to deal with it, so much so that you probably won't feel like just trying to butt in and get your words in, because it really sucks to actually have to do that. But what happens is these people just automatically assume, since you usually seem okay because you're pretty calm and mellow, they seem to think that you have no issues, you have no problems, you have nothing going on in your life that could be upsetting. Because you're not letting out, like you're not flapping it out, you're not telling all your problems, they think, well, they're fine. I'm just can keep doing this, and they're fine. They don't need anything. They're fine. Oh, they're good. They're good. They're fine. They don't stop to think that you might be having a hard time. And I'll say it to the flappers, stop it. Seriously, it's not all about you. And I'm just saying, because I will say I'm one of these people. And sometimes I am dealing with my own stuff. And as much as I'm there for so many people, I'm there for so many people on almost every day basis. It doesn't mean that sometimes I don't need a break from it. And it doesn't mean that sometimes I don't have my own issue going on. And so when that happens, it's really repelling for me. And I just want to hide away. I don't want to look at my email. I don't want to look at my Facebook or whatever. I don't want to look at anything. I don't want to know anybody. I just want to shut my door and be in my room and put the blanket over my head, just because I'm dealing with my own thing. And I can't stand not one more person putting their crap on my shoulders without maybe considering that maybe I need a day off. Maybe I have an issue. Maybe I have a life too, where I'm working my own stuff out. I mean, seriously, it gets tiring. And a big downfall of the people that are more quiet and even-keeled is we don't ask for help. And I know for me, unless I'm absolutely desperate, I will contact one of my closest friends and say, hey, I'm like freaking out here and I need your help. But I'm not going to go to them right off. And it's only going to be when I really desperately need that help. I'm not the type to bother people with my stuff. I'm not the type to go complaining about my stuff usually. I mean, sometimes I email my friends and complain about something, but not on an ongoing basis. Like, that's what I do. When something's really worrying me or upsetting me, I tend to recluse and just kind of pull in with myself and figure things out. So all I'm saying is, for the flappers, please just be aware when you are with people that are more even-keeled, to let them have conversation once in a while. And maybe not always need to tell somebody everything that's going on with you. Not to say you should just shut up and not talk, but if you're doing this too much, okay, there's always got to be a balance. It's okay to talk, but it's not all about you. That's basically what I'm getting at. And people that are more even-keeled and quiet, if you got something going on, you need to reach out and tell people, like, ask for help before you're desperate to do it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know I lived that. And it is true. You need to ask for help. When you don't ask for help, people assume you don't ever need help. When you don't ask for help, people assume you don't ever need help. Oh, she's fine. Oh, she's good. Oh, she's got the angels. Oh, she's fine. We're still human. Okay? So it doesn't mean that we don't have our stuff too. So you need to ask for help. You need to, if somebody's coming to you like this, say, you know what, not now. Set a boundary. Not now. I'm dealing with something. I can't really talk right now. Don't be available for it. Just say, I can't do it right now. I've got something else going on. When you start setting boundaries, it starts telling people, oh, well, they need to know that. They might pick up what you're putting down and back off a little bit and understand, oh, what? She doesn't have time? Oh, sorry. Okay? So I know that this is just a life thing. It's not saying like this person is bad and this person is good, or this person is bad for not asking for help and this person needs to just shut up and back off. That's not what I'm saying, and I hope that's not what you're actually getting from this. Basically, bottom line, what I'm saying is, if you tend to be someone that talk, it's nice if you start balancing that out and listening a little bit more, while taking into consideration that this person that normally listens to you has their own stuff too, and that they usually are not good about asking for help or saying, I can't do it right now. Usually they'll just listen and help, and it's just putting more burden on them. But this person needs to stand up and say, hey, I can't do it right now. I can't talk right now. I'm sorry. I'm not available right now. And this person needs to ask for help so people realize that you are a person too, and that sometimes you also need help. Sometimes you're going through stuff, because I have seen way too often where people just seem to think that person is fine. They don't need help. And that person could be smiling and helping you, and on the inside crying 5,000 tears. That's usually the way it is. Believe me. So I just wanted to bring some awareness today for you to look at yourself and say, what type am I? Am I balanced in the talking and the listening? Because some people are, but be honest about it. Don't just assume you are, because maybe you're not and you're just thinking you are. And then find out where you fall in these categories and see where you could balance yourself more, considering the people around you. And that's all I got for you today. I hope that was helpful, and I really hope that people can start balancing the give and the take here, because it is really important. And it is important to know that everybody in this world has problems and issues that come up, and we all need to be considerate of each other and not just assume that some people are okay and some people aren't, and that everybody wants to hear you talk all the time, or maybe you need to talk more. Maybe that's it too. So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you all on day 28. Bye, everyone.